Hello everyone and welcome to a wireframe and double header. We are going to do modules 6 and 7 together over the next 2 weeks, and that will cover us for simple wireframes as well as high fidelity wireframes and a couple of other assignments along the way. There are two reasons why I released these two modules at once. The first is that they're closely related, as you can probably tell from the titles of each one. I wanted you to understand the bigger picture about wireframing from the beginning so you wouldn't just think about simple wireframes as an independent concept in the first week. The second reason is that with spring break coming up starting on March 8th, I thought it might be helpful to give you all the work that you'll have to do before that time. You'll notice that the due dates for all of the work for both modules 6 and 7 is March 8th. Now I did this, although I would strongly advise against waiting until the last minute for everything. Because wireframing is not the only assignment that you'll have over these 2 weeks. You also have a couple of blogging assignments and requests to provide feedback to your classmates' writing. So let's take a closer look at the blog I asked you to contribute to as part of Module 6. This is one of my favorite assignments all semester, to read and assign, and the question that I ask you to think about is, can you redesign a real-world experience in the digital realm? And I give an example of Uber, the private car service that uses your mobile phone as a way of allowing you to basically do everything, schedule, pay, everything. And I want you to get creative on this. As I say here in the PowerPoint, or the presentation I should say, don't worry about being 100% realistic. You're not pitching an investor. You're just coming up with creative ideas. The one thing I will caution you is to make sure that your idea doesn't already exist. Every semester I get one student who's really enthusiastic about this concept and they spell it out, and I always say, oh yeah, you mean it's just like company X, and they had never heard of it. Just do a quick Google search before you commit pen to paper, as they used to say. Well, let's get into the wireframing examples. The first one in the first week here is a simple wireframe. As its name would suggest, it is not overly complicated. What you want to do here is think of any website that you could, should, or want to create on any topic, and sketch out what that first page, that home page, looks like with the elements as big blocks. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here in the introductory presentation because I have a tutorial video down below with the assignment where I actually walk you through my creating a simple wireframe for a website that I imagined for a neighborhood or a community. Keep it simple. On the first page is where you sketch it out. The second page is where I want you to explain in 1 or 2 paragraphs what the website is, what it will do, and then identify each of the blocks and talk a little bit about them. But again, I'll show examples of that down below. Moving on then, the second week we go over to the high fidelity wireframe, an assignment that is very different from the simple wireframe, as I'm sure, again, you could guess. Here as well, I'm not going to go into too much detail because when you open up that module, you see I provide an example of what I'm expecting from a high fidelity wireframe. And for the video, the tutorial video in that module, I treat it a little differently. And then I want you to base that wireframe on an existing website. So I bounce back and forth between the work assignment and the website that the high fidelity wireframe was created on. So you could see what that website, which is chase.com, the banking website, what it looks like in reality, and then how that mapped over to an assignment that a student from a previous semester handed in and did an excellent job. And then I want to finish up our intro video here this week talking about the live session, which we have scheduled for this Thursday at 9 p.m. I will send you all a link by the end of the day on Wednesday as to how you can access that through Adobe Connect. I've heard from 3 of you that have confirmed you will be able to join us. 6 have not responded, and no one has said they couldn't join us. The 6 who haven't responded, if you could please do so either way, I'd really appreciate it just so we can plan. When we think about this live session, this is not a lecture. I'm hoping to use this hour or so, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it takes, to do a little bit of talking about the assignments up to this point. I'd also like to show some examples of great work so far in the semester. On Monday, I will likely email a number of you just to make sure you're comfortable with my showing your work to the rest of the class. And really, this is an opportunity to ask me questions. If anything is on your mind, you want to talk about the semester going forward, or perhaps things that you didn't quite understand in past weeks but didn't feel required to ask me at the time, this will be the time on Thursday. So again, that's Thursday at 9 o'clock, and I will send you out a link by Wednesday. And enjoy these next 2 weeks, these modules. I think they're interesting. A lot of room for creativity, especially in the first part of the module between the simple wireframe and the blog post. So I hope to see and speak with you all on Thursday. If you can't make it on Thursday but have questions, you of course know how to reach me through email, and I will speak with you all soon. Take care.